Hi, it's Mark from Top Local Lead Generation. We're here with Mr. Bernie Pawlik of the award-winning Pawlik Automotive in Vancouver, BC. How are you doing today, Bernie?
I'm doing very well.
So we're going to talk about a 2003 tank. Oh, I'm sorry, a Mercedes G500 and a power headrest repair. What was happening with this G-Wagon?
Well, a couple things. It was brought in for a few things, but specifically what we're going to talk about today is the power headrests on both front seats were not operating.
So what was involved with repairing that issue?
Well, there's two things. First of all, I mean, our first, being a Mercedes, everything's electronic. It's all extremely complex. We connected our scan tool to the vehicle, and there's an electronic module, believe it or not, for your power headrest. So we looked at it, and for the passenger side, there's basically it lost its programming, so we were able to reprogram. It's called initializing or adaptation, whichever term Mercedes uses, but we basically just reprogram it, and the headrest started working, which is great. On the driver's side, however, there was some stored trouble codes, and it involved some more complex repairs. So what we did was we pulled we accessed the headrest motor unit and took that apart, took that out and examined it for repairs.
So what did you find when you opened that up?
Well, it's very interesting. What we found is that there were some broken solder joints at there's a electrical connector plug, and where the plug is basically soldered onto a circuit board, and then where the plug is soldered onto the circuit board, the solder joints had cracked. It happens from time to time. So we were able to just simply resolder. You just heat it up with a soldering gun, resolder the joints back to the board, and away it goes. Put everything back together, and the headrest works perfectly. And oh, by the way, you have to reinitialize that one as well. But after that, both headrests work perfectly.
So are these bad solder joints a pretty common problem with there being so much electronics and electronic or breadboards and all kinds of stuff now on cars?
You know, we don't see that problem too often. I'm always happy when we do, because it makes for a very reasonably priced repair for the customer. Something we can do simply. It doesn't involve spending a lot of money on parts. It's something we can do quickly. We don't see it very often anymore, but over the history of time on cars, there's been quite a number of different common problems that happen due to solder joint problems. This issue with the G-Wagon headrest solder joints is not an uncommon issue, by the way. It's actually one of the more common causes of them failing. But we've had Hondas where there's a little problem with the circuit board on a relay, and you just heat it up, you know, fix a solder joint. It's good for another 200,000 kilometers. We've seen quite a few years ago when engine computers were a little less, I'm trying to say that, you know, the electronics weren't quite so miniaturized. There were sometimes you'd find dry solder joints inside of those, and you could fix them. So from time to time we find it. It's always I find a gratifying repair for us and the customer.
So what's your opinion on the G-Wagon?
Great vehicle. I mean, a really nice, you initially said that it was a Mercedes tank, and you're kind of right about that. These things are rather tank-like. They're very expensive. It's amazing how well they hold their value. So if you want an all-wheel drive sport utility vehicle that holds its value, this is a good one to buy. But they cost a lot to buy. This used one is selling for $60,000 for you know, a 2003. Low mileage, in immaculate condition, but that's a lot of money for a 2003 vehicle. And I mean, there are a lot of really fancy models around. We see them around Vancouver and Richmond that are, you know, way up there in price. So great vehicles, very reliable, but, you know, being a Mercedes and a European car, they're a little finicky, but they're very nice.
So there you have it. If you're looking for repairs on your G500 in Vancouver, the guys to go see are Pawlik Automotive. Pawlik Automotive, you can reach them at 604-327-7112 or go to their website. Tons of information on there, a few years of hangouts now, pawlikautomotive.com. Thanks, Bernie.
Thanks, Mark.